Most guys don't build a fragrance collection. They just buy things. Something smells good in a store, they grab it. Someone recommends something online, they pick that up too. And a year later, they've got 6 bottles, 5 of them do basically the same thing, and they still wear the same one every day. A real collection is different. Every bottle has a job. Every situation is covered. Nothing overlaps. And most importantly, when the occasion calls for something specific, you actually have it, instead of standing in front of your shelf wondering why every bottle suddenly feels wrong. So here's how I do it. From absolutely nothing all the way up to $500. Quick note before we get into it, all prices are based on the best deals I could find across discounters and online stores. What you find might vary a little, but these are realistic numbers to work with. Before spending a single dollar, take 5 minutes and figure out what you actually need fragrance for. School? Office? Going out on weekends? Active lifestyle? The answer changes everything that follows. Most people skip this completely. They just buy whatever looks cool online. Then 6 months later, they're staring at a shelf full of bottles, wondering why none of them feel quite right. The fragrance that works for someone else's life won't automatically work for yours. And here's the free trick. Go to Fragrantica, search a fragrance you already like the smell of on someone, and look at the notes. That's your starting point. You just figured out what your nose is drawn to without spending a dollar. Because buying fragrance without knowing what you like is basically Tinder with a credit card. Now you know what to look for when you do. Now at $50, you're not really building a collection yet. You're figuring out what your nose actually likes. Fresh and versatile is the right call here. Not because it's the most exciting category, but because it works everywhere without overthinking it. You spray it and get on with your life. And honestly, at this price range, fresh is where some of the best value is anyway. 3 options, all under $50. Nautica Voyage, around $18 to $20. Apple, aquatic, clean. Fresh, safe, works everywhere. It's been around since 2006, and there's a reason people still buy it. Perfect starting point if your nose likes fresh and clean. Club de Nuit Intense Man EDP, around $25 to $30. Smoky, fruity, fresh, strong projection. This is widely known as one of the closest things to Creed Aventus you'll find at any price, let alone $30. The first time I smelled this, I remember thinking, wait, this costs how much? If you want something with real presence, this is it. Versace Eros, around $50. Sweet, vanilla, mint, fresh. The boldest of the 3, and probably the most likely to get compliments from day one. If your node's research pointed you towards sweet and fresh, this is the obvious call. One more thing, if you go with Nautica Voyage or CDNIM, you've still got $20 to $30 left in your budget. That's enough to grab a couple of decants and start testing other fragrances on skin before committing to a full bottle. Honestly, that's probably the smartest move you can make at this stage. Now things get interesting. With around $100 to $150, you can cover 2 completely different situations. And that's when a collection starts making a lot more sense. The split is simple. 1 fresh fragrance for every day and daytime, 1 warmer fragrance for evenings and going out. 2 bottles doing 2 completely different jobs. That's the whole point. You want them to feel like different moods, not 2 versions of the same thing. For every day, Versace Pour Homme at around $50. Fresh, clean, a little aquatic. Works year-round, safe everywhere, never really gets it wrong. This is your Monday to Friday bottle, the one you reach for when you don't feel like thinking about fragrance. For evenings, Armani Code EDP at around $80 to $90. Warm, amber, slightly sweet, a completely different energy from Pour Homme, and that's exactly why they work together. Fresh during the day, warm and confident at night. Between these 2, you've got basically every normal week covered. 2 bottles, 2 jobs, that's your first real collection. At this budget, the approach shifts. You're not just covering day and night anymore, you're covering the entire year with no real gaps. 3 bottles that each do something different. YSL Y EDP, around $100 to $120, everyday fragrance. Green apple, ginger, warm woody dry down. This is genuinely one of my favorite everyday fragrances at this price. works year-round, gets compliments without trying too hard, and unlike a lot of fresh fragrances, it actually sticks around. The dry down goes warm and woody rather than just clean and disappearing. Acqua di Gio Profondo, around $100 to $120. Summer and warm weather. Clean, aquatic, musky in a way that feels expensive rather than generic. Hot days, the beach, outdoor situations, Profondo handles all of it without ever feeling heavy or out of place. I've had people ask me what I was wearing with this more than once, which for a fresh fragrance is a bigger deal than it sounds. Stronger with You Intensely by Emporio Armani, around $70 to $100. Evenings and cold weather. Cinnamon, toffee, chestnut, vanilla. Warm and genuinely addictive. The longevity is serious. The scent trail is real. Covers fall, winter, evenings, going out, all in one bottle. This is the one that changes the energy when you walk into a room. One thing worth knowing, most of these come in multiple bottle sizes. If the price feels steep, check for a smaller bottle first. Same fragrance, same quality, just less of it. At $500, you're filling the gaps that every lower budget collection leaves open. Date night, casual situations, and those occasions where fragrance genuinely changes the impression you make. For the foundation, YSL YEDP handles every day, Profondo handles summer, Stronger With You Intensely covers evenings and cold weather. Those three are doing the heavy lifting. Then come the additions. Versace Pour Homme at around $50. Dedicated casual and gym fragrance. You need something you don't feel bad burning through on low-stakes situations. This frees up everything else for when it actually matters. And La Nuit de l'Homme by YSL, around $100 to $130. Cardamom, cedar, spice, sweetness underneath. Warm and distinctive without being loud. This is the fragrance for when it genuinely matters. Date nights, important evenings, anywhere you want to be remembered. It doesn't smell like what everyone else is wearing, and that's exactly the point. I've layered this with the 1 EDP underneath before, and it becomes something even better. But on its own, it's already one of the best fragrances at any price for this role. 5 bottles. Every situation covered. It might creep slightly past $500 depending on where you shop, but every bottle here earns its place. Start wherever your budget is. Whether it's $50 or $500, the goal is the same. Buy intentionally. One good bottle beats 5 mediocre ones every single time. Drop in the comments which budget you're starting from, and if you already own something on this list, let me know what you think of it. Always curious what you guys are actually wearing. And if you got this far, hit subscribe. And apparently, I'm supposed to point over here now.